welcome to my acrylic pour vlog. This is me setting up for the acrylic pour. I had to move everything pretty much to the side from my balcony, and then I put a bunch of plastic bags down, like trash bags. Don't judge how many trash bags I use. If you have a problem with it, and look at the corporations that are using single-use plastic every single day. I am a small artist who needs money. Thank you. Anyways, I had to tip the ducks with some corn because they're always the best little company keepers, you know. And yeah, I give them like a whole bag of corn. But then this is me cutting up the plate. I always cut up a paper plate in half. It's a very simple and cheap technique if you're going to be doing acrylic pour. So I really recommend getting a paper plate and just cutting it in half so that you can put your paints on top of them and just pour them from there, rather than buying like an expensive acrylic pour kit. That could be like $50. It's not worth it when you can just do this and make such a beautiful piece. Trust me, it's worth it. But yeah, once I do that, I just add the paint on top of the plate and then swirl it around and pour it on. So it's super easy. I'll show in the next clip the process. This is me pouring the paint. Yeah. It's beautiful once I finish it. This is for a college canvas, which is like a commission that I do. It's what people use them to decorate their dorms and stuff, but this person wanted an acrylic pour in the side, which is something I actually can do. I've been doing them before, so I offered it. Not everyone really offers this, but yeah, I put some plates underneath it so that I can catch the extra paint that falls down, because I really didn't want to make a mess, like my security deposit, you know. But yeah. The colors I use for this one are some pink and orange and yellow and white, mostly because that's the color scheme that they went with. The school is LSU, so it doesn't go with the school theme at all, but that's just what the dorm theme color scheme is gonna be, so I went with that. I got some pour paints, but you don't have to actually use acrylic pour paint if you want to use this technique. You can just use any paints as long as they're thin paint. So if it's thick like this, you're gonna want to dilute it with like a thinner paint. Mix it in with that before you get to pouring, because it's gonna be a little bit chunky if you don't do that. If you do make it to where it's chunky, it's still fine though, because it does dry down and it's not super chunky when it dries. It's just a preference. So you can mix the pour paints and the other paints, whatever you want to do. This is what it looks like whenever I pour it. As you see, like the pink one, the texture isn't the best because it's thicker than the rest. So that would make it chunkier unless you mix in with the white fully. But yeah. You can mix in with other paints to make it thinner so that it's not a problem with the texture. And this pour paint, as you see, is just like already the perfect texture for pouring, so that's nice to use, but you do have to use a lot of the paint, and the paint is very expensive, whereas the other paint can be like $2. So I do recommend just getting the cheap paint from Walmart that's pretty thin. It's like $2 a bottle, and you can use it for pouring. I've used it plenty of times to pour, so definitely, if you're on a budget, the paper plates cut in half and the cheap paint from Walmart, I totally recommend. They can make a beautiful piece, and you can make this as wall art for your house if you're on a budget as well. It's a very cute and easy option. As you can see, this is how I pour it. I just kind of grab it. This is in real time. I mixed it a little bit more, but you just grab it and pour it across the canvas and then tap it as it falls down. Or you can make enough paint to where you pour over the entire canvas. I just like to pick it up and let it fall and use gravity to make it fall, because I don't feel like doing all of that, honestly. I sped it up, but as you can see, this is what I mean by letting gravity do its thing. You can use a lot more paint, but if you are on a budget, like I said, this is an easier way to do it, and it's still very cute. So I moved it towards the camera at one point so you can actually see what it looks like, but this is just the easier way of angling it, so I'm sorry that you can't really see much of it. And also, I'm using a plant to hold up the paper bags, or the plastic bags, so that they stay down, so that's why the camera is a little bit blocked by that. But as you can see, it's a beautiful final product. It works perfectly fine even though you use budget options, so I totally recommend. And this is perfect for like wall decor around your house. Love it.